What's up, everyone, and welcome to the RRBG podcast. This is episode 305. So I decided to bring my Miami homie, Mitch Luna, on board to talk about Miami history, talk about his band when we first met, Maruta, talk about his new project, Shock Withdrawal. We shared a lot of stories and had a good time. I hope you guys enjoy it. Make sure to follow him at Shock Withdrawal so you can check out the music he's working on. Follow us at RRBG Podcasts. If you have time, check out the Patreon page. Go to patreon.com/RRBG and help support the podcast. Cheers.
Recording. Hi. Greetings. How you doing, Eddie?
There we are. We did it. Whew. I'm okay, dude. I'm all right. I'm hanging in there.
Good to hear. Good to hear you're still alive. How long have you been living out here already?
Too long. No, I'm kidding. 7 years?
That's good. All right. Yeah. Same as me. Come July, it will be 7 years for me.
Hold on. 7 years we've been here?
Since 2016.
Since 2016.
Same, dude. We left the tropics around the same time.
The tropics. Well, let's just get into it, dude, because we got to talk. So.
All right. Let's get into it, motherfucker.
Let's fucking do it. All right, what's up, everyone? Welcome to the RRBG podcast. I'm being joined today by a very special close friend of mine, singer, or can I call you a singer? Is it vocalist?
Vocalist.
Vocalist. Yeah. Mitchell Luna. Luna's your last name, like your real last name, dude? Your last name is the Moon?
Yeah. You know, it's funny. Out here, I've had a few people ask me if that's my real name, like if it's a stage.
It's a stage name, dude. Fuck that.
I'm like, nah, motherfucker, that's my real last name. Why would I come up with Luna as a fake stage name to be mysterious and gothy? I guess I don't know.
Yeah, your stage name is something standard like John Smith. That's your stage.
I turn very white.
Yeah.
If my name's John Smith, though. But yeah.
Well, for the people that are watching and listening, I met you, let's say, I don't know, 2006, 5?
Maybe
when did we meet?
That, man. I don't know. It's a blur.
It's a blur.
2005 is when, like, Maruta started playing shows, but before that, I was around.
Yeah.
Other bands and doing shit in Miami. I know we're, like, similar age. I think you're, like, a year or two older than me.
Yeah, I'm 41. I turned 42 this year.
I turned 40 this year. What is time?
You turn or you already did?
I turned 40 in November.
This November?
Yeah.
Ooh, any big plans?
Nah, man.
You got to do a big one for 40. It's less and less now. You know, it's 40 and 45. Then it's just 50 and then maybe a 60. You know, you jump decades later. You don't celebrate all of them.
Yeah, I don't think we'll see.
You got to drink your face off at least if you're still drinking. I don't know. Are you still drinking?
I mean, clearly.
Oh, yeah. And yeah, you got to have at least a drinking event where you and like a couple friends just drink a lot, which is what, every weekend anyway?
Yeah, it's like once a month. That's at least a good once a month thing. I honestly did cut back drinking quite a bit. I do it on the weekends. I don't drink it all during the week. I don't do that thing I used to do after work. I'm like, oh, like I don't do that. I've been trying to be more active and shit.
I see you out there running and shit.
You're crazy. Dude, fucking run. Well, I haven't in the last 3 weeks because I've been flooded with work. But I'll run 2 to 3 times a week. Do a few miles. Take the dog with me. Fucking just get out, dude. I'm cooped up here all the time. Yeah. But anyway, I feel like I deviated from your intro.
Dude, fuck it. Hey, look, that's how the show goes. Everybody gets scared when I call them up to do the show. I'm like, hey, you want to do the show? And they're like, oh, I don't know. I'm just like, dude, we're just hanging out. That's all we're doing. It's not I'm not Metal Injection or Revolver Magazine. I love those guys, but like, fuck, you know, if you have news, come talk about it with me. That's cool. But also, I just want to talk. I want to catch up with you. It's been a while. I mean, so we met back then. I think in passing, but like when we got to know each other was when you were playing with Maruta and we were doing shows.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
So I remember seeing you covered in blood in Churchill's and thinking, you know what? No other local band's doing this. I like this.
That was a one-off. That was just one time. It was June 6th, 2006. It was 666. So we decided
Perfect. I mean,
to cover ourselves in blood, and I did the pennant inverted cross on my forehead. It was a joke. Yeah, we obviously our themes are not satanic, really, or we're not. But then I would see a hashtag going around online around that time when I think like Last FM was a thing, and we were tagged satanic grindcore,
yeah.
which I'm just like, all right, just let it roll.
Fuck it.
Yeah. It's pretty funny.
Now satanic is in, bro. I mean, are you seeing even pop is into it now? Everything is satanic panic now.
I'm very out of the loop. I live in a cave to keep up with stuff, but Satan's cool, man. Even though I don't think Satan really exists, but cool imagery. Looks
Cool.
a lot cooler than the other guy.
Hey, everything I've read about him is, he tells you to believe in yourself, and I mean that's kind of a good message, right? I don't know.
Yeah.
Believe in yourself, do your thing.
I try to do that most of the time.
Yeah.
Not always as easy, but that's what I aim for.
What are you doing right now musically? Because you've been telling me that you have stuff that you're working on. But like, what are you working on? If you can tell anything, can you say anything?
Yeah, man. So I have this new band, Shock Withdrawal, that put out an EP last year, and we haven't really played any shows because we're waiting to finish a full-length record, and then once we do that, we go out and play and do the thing. EP came out last year. That's why I'm like, dude, you hit me up to do this show. I'm like, I don't really have anything to talk about right now. I will later this year, but I couldn't turn down episode 305.
Gotta do it. Yeah, we are in episode 305. I needed a Miami boy to be amongst me so we could talk a little bit about Miami history and the scene down there too, like when we were coming up, because it was weird.
Yeah. Episode 305, the least watched episode on our RPG podcast.
I doubt that. I've had some stinkers out there, dude.
I'd like to thank all 4 of my friends that watch this. Thank you very much.
No, I guarantee you a lot of the Miami crew's gonna watch this. Don't worry about it.
Oh yeah, dude. Here's the thing. I'm joking, but I'm very, very blessed and grateful to have a lot of friends from Miami, statewide, worldwide. Anyone who's our age and still is passionate about extreme metal or punk or music of any sort and still actively goes to shows, like, I don't know, we tend to stick together. We tend to just look out for each other.
That's right.
To this day, man, I'll always have a friend I met on the road 10, 15 years ago that'll be in town. We'll hang out, we'll grab a drink. My apartment's always open. It's a fucking Airbnb half of the year. I have bands crashing in this room. Like, that turns into a little fold-out bed. This is usually my office that I work in. Have bands over. I still love going to shows, man. It's still my favorite thing in the world, Like, I will never grow out of this shit. It is just, it gives me life. It makes me stoked.
Yeah.
Anytime a friend's putting out a new record, I'm smiling. I'm like, fuck yeah, let me check that shit out, dude. I'm far from jaded. And if I'm gonna be 40, then I guess I'm a lifer, like
40 is a good time. I mean, it gets better because to me anyway, I feel like the experiences are now better. As I'm getting older, I'm appreciating it more. Like I have a little more respect for it too, because I'm a little, just like I said, a little older. I don't want to say mature. I'm a fucking child. I have toys everywhere.
Oh, same. I have a ton in my, dude, I'm trying to sell a bunch of them. You want some horror movie toys?
Oh boy.
I'm trying to get, dude, I own so much shit that I've been collecting for years. And I don't know, there's this saying, the more you own, the more it owns you.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I've been feeling lately. Especially now, like, old video games are worth a ton of money.
If you want to get rid of those, hit me up.
Huh?
If you ever want to get rid of those, you hit me up.
You're a Nintendo guy. I got tons of Nintendo shit. I got so we'll talk about this another time and not try to bore the shit out of the audience too much. Like,
all right, let's turn this into an episode of Craigslist. What are you selling? What's the
What do you need? What do you need? I got it.
I got you, bro. I gotta tell you, man. I've told you this before, but your voice is so unique. Like, even just talking.
Well,
like, you need to be doing something with that aside from just occasionally releasing music. You need to, like, voice acting. You need some, like, broadcasting. I don't know, dude. Start a podcast.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like I have enough homies holding it down in the podcast world, you being one of them. I don't know, maybe one day. I'm just like, you can only do so many things at once. I always feel like I'd rather do less things and try to do this one thing really
Well,
put all my energy. Yeah, well, I don't know if well's right. That's subjective. But just exert all my energy into that. Ever since I moved here, obviously, I've been working a ton. I'm a video editor. I do a bit of producing, and I've been really caught up with that. I even took a break from music, obviously, for about 6 years.
yeah.
Just because before that, it's just like, all right, my goal this year is to do this record and tour, and I will work whatever job I can in the interim. I then hit the road, and obviously, I played grindcore, which is in the metal totem pole the least popular genre probably, and an unconventional version of grindcore at that.
Yeah.
So the goal was always like, let's get out, let's play, let's have a good time. But then I reached my 30s and I'm like, oh shit, all right, I also have to worry about a career. So that's why I came out here, dude. That's why you're out here too, right? What was your initial reason for coming out here?
You're goddamn right. I got tired of it, dude. I mean, the grind in Miami was so hard
It's brutal, man. It's brutal. Yeah.
Dude, especially in what we were doing. Like, we were doing very niche music. Like, Dissever even. Like, you guys had your style, and your style has a following. Dissever doesn't have a style. We were just playing whatever the fuck we wanted. So, like, one song will be grindy, and then the next song is a ballad, and it's like, we scare people off. You know what I mean? So it was a weird struggle for us, but still, like, for anyone in Miami, the driving out of there just to play out of Florida, it's 8 hours.
Oh yeah. Well, not even the music thing, but just in general, like the type of work you find in Miami and how little they pay, like it's a very cutthroat mentality down there.
Yeah, I mean, you could also just buy a pickup truck, fill it with vegetables, and then drive around yelling "Biandero!" and then
aguacate maduro para toda la familia.
I gotta tell you, bro, what a wild.
The afilador. Remember the guy with the weird whistle? It'd be this weird. I don't know if there's the same one, but in Little Havana, there'd be this dude afilador, and he'd have this whistle that sounded like fucking nightmare fuel, dude.
Yeah, man, and it was usually a rusty ass truck too. Like, there's this rusty truck driving down with creepy ass whistling, just sharpening knives. Nothing to see here.
I'll sharpen your knives. That's not sketchy
at
all.
Oh my god, dude.
I do miss things like that about Miami and the food and stuff and the cheap man shit. I don't necessarily miss getting shoulder checked on the street.
Yeah, those are fun.
Yeah, exactly. I always feel like in Miami, motherfuckers are ready to just like fight, dude.
It's the cocaine.
The cocaine, the steroids, and the heat. The three things.
Yeah.
It's a bad combination.
The coladas, the coffee. Everybody's jacked on fucking coffee. The fucking coladas. Those things are insane.
Everyone's fucking stressed out there and fucking, I don't know, dealing with cockroaches flying at them. Walking into gnats, and you just be walking and you come across a fucking thing of gnats.
Dude, I drove once to Biscayne Key, I think it was, or Biscayne Bay, and they wouldn't let us in because there was a mosquito invasion.
Yeah.
And like they were like, you need to go in and make a U-turn and leave. And when we went in to do the U-turn, there were literally hundreds of mosquitoes up against the glass, just like banging. I'm like, holy shit, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah, maybe we should write a script and make that a film, dude.
Right? The mosquito.
Sounds good. Well, there was a film called Mosquitoes in the 80s. I remember I rented from like one of those like Theo's videos. Remember those? Like there's just like mom and pop video rental stores, and like I was growing up, I was always obsessed with horror films. Man, we're going off the deep end on
No, dude, something that I've never really told anyone, really. I only maybe told my wife, who's sitting here. But my parents used to own a fucking one of those shitty video stores. And they used to sit there and they bought the program. I don't know what the hell they bought. They bought some program where they can add subtitles. So that my dad would sit there and translate the movies into English and then sell copies of that or rent them or whatever to the Latinos in the neighborhood.
Completely legal.
Yeah, totally by the book, 100%.
Hell yeah. Piracy, fuck the FBI. We're gonna do what we want. That was a lot of those spots, man. But dude, I remember there was one. Fuck. You grew up like in Hialeah, right? You lived in Hialeah mostly.
Yep.
Well, I would go visit one of my best friends. It was not in Hialeah. I'm trying to remember the name of the place, but it's like pretty common. Like Coral Way in like 67th. There's a little shopping center right by Jesus Christ. This
by the university and like UM.
No. Coral Way in 67th. It's been years. I can't remember.
Oh, Sedano's. Well, no, Sedano's was on 8th Street. I'm going down the streets right now. La Carreta, right? Is that Bird Road?
Oh, La Carreta is Bird Road. Yeah, you're correct.
Bird Road.
But there was a Cuban restaurant where I'd get hungover breakfast at all the time there. Now I can't remember what the fuck the name of the place is. The moment this is over, I'll remember and I'll be like,
it's fine. It's been a long time, dude. I mean, we grew up in a very weird, like, I don't know about you, but for me, it was weird being into metal, but also living amongst just salsero Cuban guys.
Oh, dude, fucking my neighborhood was ruthless, man. Like, I'd walk around, it's like, yo, you a rocker, you a headbanger, you like Marilyn Manson, dog, you like to suck your own dick, like that was the whole thing. And I was like this scrawny kid with like fucking curly hair, and it's like, oh man, yeah. And I remember once, like, I don't know, I was a dumb kid, and I would get caught up. I'd get in trouble all the time before I was 18, and I kind of sort my shit out.
Okay.
And then
what kind of shit though? Like just just petty theft, like candy.
Shit. Like no, I got arrested for like having weed on me once.
Oh, that's nothing.
For drinking at school. I used to drink at school, which is really stupid. I don't know.
There's a whole Deftones song about it.
Oh, I didn't know. I learned something new today. I don't know, angsty 16-year-old. I'd raid my mom's liquor cabinet and go get drunk at school. I'd take LSD at school constantly, man. I didn't give a fuck.
How old were you the first time you did LSD?
Like 15 years old.
Yeah.
15. Yeah. I still do it sometimes, man. I think psychedelics are wonderful. It's just finding the time.
Yeah.
You know?
That's the big issue, the time, because you got to block off at least 12 hours. Like
more than that, the day afterwards you're fried. Like, but
yeah, that's true.
Like once or twice a year, I'll like to like eat mushrooms or do acid and just sort of recalibrate my brain.
I don't mind the shrooms, but like the LSD, I can't do it anymore, dude.
I'm a fan. It's nice.
The last one I did really fucked me up, and then it was also my company, the company that I keep, my asshole friends in Miami. They like to, you're tripping?
See, you can't like that. No, like I do it with a few select friends out here, and we all know what's up, and we just like we'll laugh and just not be idiots. You can't do psychedelics with someone you don't vibe with in that way.
Dude, that night.
By the way, Murphy, he says hi.
Hello, Murph. Hello. Yes, your Instagram is Master of Murphy.
Yeah, dude, it's my boy.
I like it.
But so what I was going to is like I was in this youth at risk program for a minute, and it was everyone from like Little Havana and like a bit of like Overtown and stuff, like all the kids that were up to no good.
Delinquentes
and shit, And it was called the Regis House. It was off like Northwest 7th Street and like 14th Avenue or something. So I was forced to go there for, I think it was 4 months. I'd have to go 3 times a week and meet and talk about shit and whatever. And I was the only fucking rocker there, dude. Everyone was like, so I'd have my Pantera shirt. I think at one point my hair was dyed green and stuff.
Nice.
And it's like, yo, dog, you a headbanger, but you're cool, bro. You're cool. And I remember one time, like, it's funny, I went to this youth at risk program, and then like through that I learned how to get better drugs. That's the opposite.
Wrong effect.
Yeah. There's some characters. I remember one time, like, I hung out with these dudes where they're like smoking a blunt in the car, listening to like 3 6 Mafia and shit, and they're always like, yeah, man, I've always wanted to hook up with one of them rocker girls. They're freaks, right? With the tongue rings and the hair. And I'm like, yeah, man. But then in my head, I was lying. I was a virgin. Things like I was 19.
Yeah, man, totally.
Yeah, I don't want to disappoint these dudes. I'm like, yeah, man, absolutely. They're freaks.
Little do they know, yes, they are all of them. Anyone that listens to metal usually needs to go see a therapist. This is where I'm at now.
I do that sometimes.
Yeah, why not? We need to talk to people, you know? And look, we also, like you and I specifically, like that move from Miami to here, it's a whole different, vibe. I don't know about you personally. I'm sure you have a close group of friends. You know, I see that you got, you do marathons and stuff with, but like, it's different. It's not the same hang that it was in Miami.
Yeah. I'm very fortunate that I did have a group of friends out here when I moved here. But also, dude, the move for me was nerve-wracking because I didn't have a job lined up. I didn't have anything lined up. It was me and my ex-wife. We saved a bit of money, jumped in a car, left her stuff in storage just to see what would happen. And, very grateful that things worked out. I was able to find work right away, and I've sort of made my way up, and I've continued to work on cool projects and stuff, and I'm still here. But it was scary. It was scary, dude.
Yeah.
Like just rolling the dice.
So what was there something that prompted you rolling? Like, what was it that you guys just said, fuck it, we got to go somewhere else? Miami, I can't do it anymore.
Yeah. Like I feel like it's just good to try to live somewhere else. I didn't want to fall into the trap of just living in Miami forever. And
it sucks you in.
Yeah, and to be fair, it's easier when you're doing it with a partner at the time, and like you have this sort of someone's got my back thing. I have the utmost respect for people that just get up and move somewhere by themselves and figure it out, especially a place where they don't know that many people. For me, I'm lucky because I've been involved in the metal, grindcore, hardcore punk scene, whatever. And of course, you're going to know people in LA.
Sure, yeah.
We're playing here, and from the people you've met in other places that have moved here, because this is a very transient city. Most of my friends that I have out here are not from here, but from other parts of the country. And we all ended up here because we're all, going to the big city. It's here or New York for entertainment, really. No.
Yeah, definitely not Miami.
Fucking work a job for Univision where they pay you $12 an hour. They're like tremendo negocio, like it's super cutthroat down there, dude.
Yeah, as long as you have good credit, you get a nice pickup truck, a little house down there in La Ocho, y La 57.
Yeah. Well, what's insane, man, is that rent over there is almost on par with what it is out here now.
Oh yeah, no, it is.
It is just, yeah. It's
New York is worse, but Miami's caught up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God, dude, you couldn't pay me to live there again. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'll go see people I miss that I'll go see some people that I miss. But
absolutely.
Live there? You could not pay me to live there. You couldn't give me a free house. Hey, here's a free house. Be like, good. Let me get the lease. I'll fucking sell it. I'm not going.
I don't know, man. Free house sounds kind of nice. Sometimes I'm like,
I'll rent it out, bro.
Yeah, true. Yeah, rent it out.
I'll rent it out. I'll live up here. I'll keep paying rent over here and just rent that thing out. It'll just cut it, equalize or whatever. What do you call it? Cancel itself out.
There you go.
Fuck that shit. No, dude, the last time we went back to visit, when we got out of the airport, it was like a wall of humidity. Like a sauna. Like I walked into a sauna. I'm like, what the fuck? And I used to live in this and like, work out in this and perform and work. I can't, dude.
Well, that's all we knew for 30 plus years,
Insane.
Like I would think that was just normal existence,
Yeah, just dying, constantly sweating, pouring sweat all the time.
Dude, I used to fucking drive a car that had no AC for years down there. I don't know how I did it. I was just broke and used to just suffering, I guess.
If you open the windows, it's hotter outside because it's
yeah. And I just show up places all sweaty, and I never thought twice about it.
Yeah.
It was just all I knew. but every time I go back and I visit, one time I brought my dog Murphy with me, and I went in June, and I'd just be like, all right, let me go walk him around the block, and I'd come back and I'm like, holy shit, I need to take a shower now. Yeah, I'm used to California weather now.
It's so much nicer. I know it's drier and people complain about that, but to me, I'll lotion up if I get dry, man. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know how to get lotion. What are we talking about?
Yeah,
I'd rather not be pouring sweat all the time. I mean, I'm a little chunkier. I like my beer, so it's pouring constantly. But here, no problem. You know what I deal with sometimes? From my past history in Miami, the dryness makes I get random nosebleeds sometimes. It happens.
Oh, good old Miami.
Good old Miami. At least it's clean down there. Can't be playing around and partying in Los Angeles anymore because you die.
Dude, I don't know, man. That whole fentanyl thing is insane to me. I am very fortunate when I was younger and stupider and used to partake in such things that just times were different, I don't really mess with that at all anymore. Just because, like, I don't know, just fuck with my brain and be depressed and shit is not good.
No, it's not a good feeling.
Yeah.
You start losing teeth.
To this, I'm sorry.
You start losing teeth. Like, no, it's a terrible thing to be part of, but that's part of the lifestyle of Miami back when we were there. Like the 90s. Oh, obviously the 80s. Everybody talks about the 80s, but it's not that it ended in the 80s. You know what I mean? Everybody talks about the 80s, but it kept going and it got worse. We found out about ecstasy.
Still Miami to this day, dude.
Yeah.
Like, did you know how bars don't close ever?
No, 24/7 party. It's insane.
Yeah. So, I'll be at Flanagan's at like 3 a.m. when I go back to visit, and I'll go to the bathroom, and I just hear motherfuckers just like, yeah. That's like, oh yeah, this is just cocaine capital.
Hey man, I need to stay awake because the wings are only a penny if you buy a pitcher.
Oh, yeah. Also, dude, they don't have deals like that in California where you get a fucking 12 wings if you buy a pitcher, dude. That is a sick deal. Granted, I don't eat meat anymore, but like,
hey,
I used to love that shit.
That's a good deal.
Yeah. Just fucking that, or like one day
they weren't bad. The wings weren't that bad. I mean, they weren't great, but they weren't bad.
Yeah, I used to think they were good. I mean, my wing standards were.
I was spoiled by Sports Grill and Sunset
Place. You were gonna say that.
Boy,
very Miami thing to say. Sports Grill wings were delicious.
Ooh.
The Miami Heat ones, dude, because I used to love to just punish myself with pipes, and it'd be hard to finish, but it cleared my sinuses, and
they had their I used to call them the Dale wings, but it was Dale Earnhardt, but we would just call them Dale wings. The Dale wings. Fucking Big Show. You remember Big Show, the wrestler, the big guy?
Yeah. With the corny intro song of all time.
Well,
the Big Show. Yeah, I remember.
Oh, I love him. He's whatever. He used to go there fucking weekly because I used to sell beer to those guys, so I would be there to take their order and shit, and he would be there. Huh?
I didn't know he lived in Miami.
Yeah, I don't know if he does or not, but I know he was there weekly. Okay. I don't know if he makes the drive.
How many wings did that motherfucker put down? Like
36. It was the pile.
Dude, it's huge. Yeah.
It was like 50 wings or something. Like,
it was like a boneyard of wings. And
what was that place called? There was another place that was that people would go to that was kind of like Flanagan's, that you could get ridiculous like chicken nachos. They were like this big. Like it was a mountain, and then they had like
sounds like most of Florida.
I know, right? It was that and the Irish car bombs that we would go get there. It was somewhere in Kendall.
Oh, dude, yeah. Jesus Christ.
I forget what it was called.
This is mid 2000s, like top tier mid 2000s, where we all had the sideburns and the goatee. Remember that shit? I look at photos of me from 2005, and I'm like, oh my god, dude. I looked. Well, everyone had the sideburns and goatee combo. That's the thing. But that and the camouflage cargo shorts with or stickies, like I used to wear that.
I had a lot of Dickies.
Yeah. Dude, yeah, there was a million spots like that, especially off like fucking Kendall. Yeah.
So, what was the first place you went to see a show, like an actual local show in Miami?
Oh man.
Because their venues are very limited. I mean, we got Churchill's.
I think it might have been like the Chili Pepper in the Grove back in the
Oh,
day.
dude, I miss that place.
Yeah, that or what was that place? Fantasyland. I used to go to there.
Fantasyland.
Yeah, it was all the way in the middle of fucking
They
nowhere.
used to have so many raves there.
Yeah.
So
But I
many
don't,
raves.
dude, like that's the thing when we were young, man. There was just so many all ages shows. Like that's insane the amount of access that we had to just see music. Whereas I feel like rock shows, metal shows, and punk shows, whatever, like most of them that I go to nowadays, they're always 21 and up or like 18 and up. But I remember being like fucking 14 years old at those spots. And I used to go to just whatever show, dude. It didn't matter to me. I just loved being in that atmosphere. So I would just go to some hardcore show, go to some new metal show, go to some fucking ska. I didn't care, dude. I just wanted to be out and in that environment. You know, drink before you get there and hang out, and then like, because they're just like 15 years old. Yeah, I wonder what kids do nowadays.
They sit on their phones until
Yeah.
it's time to go up, and they stand there and they're kind of just waiting for whatever they're watching to end so they can get back on their phones.
I don't know. I feel like there is a sort of underground movement with younger people, but it's definitely not one rooted in like rock music. That's for sure. And
No.
I feel for them, like maybe it's more like electronic, like shit, like some underground electronic thing, or you know, like rap music, trap music. That's kind of popping, but like, dude,
Yeah,
anytime I
like
go to a show,
Death Grips or
yeah,
those
shit
kinds
like
of
that.
yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Or like a Ghost Main, or you know, that type of stuff. Because like,
My
dude,
little sister's really into Suicide Boys, but I can't listen to
you
that
know,
stuff.
I think Suicide Boys is kind of cool. I can't hate on it. It's very influenced by 36 Mafia and stuff like that.
Maybe I
Uh,
gotta go into it with a different mentality. That's what it is.
yeah, but it's not something I put on all the time. But if a Suicide Boys track comes on, I'm mad at it, you know.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't know.
Have you ever considered doing some rapping? What's up?
Fuck no, no, no. I'm good at two things. I do the Cookie Monster sound and the pterodactyl sound, and that's all you're gonna get from me. When you need a project with lots of blast beats and riffs, and you need some angry sounding dude, that's what I'm doing. Yeah.
Okay.
But,
You're not gonna end up doing a soft electronic project like a lot of these same like the dudes that do death metal and whatnot end up doing like really slow kind of. They either go electronic or they'll go like country-ish, like folkish, like King Dude-ish.
I ain't never going country, boys. That ain't,
I'm gonna wear a giant hat, wear a giant black hat and acoustic.
not my vibe. But yeah, I mean, circling back to like music stuff, I am doing stuff with Shock Withdrawal, which is kind of more straightforward grindcore. We put out an EP last year on Brutal Panda, which is run by my friend Bob, who used to work for Relapse Records, and that's been his thing. And we're doing the full length with them. The new material is a little moodier and darker, and a little more distinct. I feel like the EP was very straightforward. I mean, there's blast beats and shit. I don't know if you've had a chance to check it out, but I'll send you. I'll send you a record. I have 7 inches, or tapes are back. Look at that, we got tapes.
Don't send me a tape. I don't have a way of playing it. I'm on it.
What about a compact disc? Because we have those too.
Oh, I mean, maybe on my Xbox, I guess.
Yeah. No, but like doing that, man, I'm really stoked on that. I really get along with the dudes. It's my friend Nick MD and John O'Garrett, and they played in a band called the Destro together years ago. Not to be confused with Destro from Miami.
Right.
Jono plays in Speed Dealer, that band REO Speed Dealer. He's their current drummer.
Okay.
Turbid North and a bunch of stuff, and they're just great dudes and happy to do that. And then I have another band that hasn't been announced yet, but we're still tracking stuff. And I don't know, kind of hoping it doesn't turn into one of those bands where like the record sits on a hard drive for like 2 years before it's out. Just because it's like it's with my buddy Mike Heller, the drummer. I don't know if you've met Mike, but he plays in like Raven and Fear Factory and stuff. But
I haven't met him, but I know the name for sure.
He rules. I love him to death. We met years ago because his band Malignancy and Maruta toured together in 2008. We've been friends ever since, and he ended up moving out here. He's a very particular human, you know. He always wants to hang out, but he doesn't really like going to shows unless he's playing. He doesn't really like going out to eat. He doesn't party much. So we would go to flea markets together. We'd go to the swap meet and buy cool shit. And then it's like, dude, let's hang out again. It's like, want to start a band? We could hang out that way. I'm like, this is a great idea. I started a death metal project with him and my friend Justin Nipper, who's from Jersey, New York area. And it's weird technical death metal stuff. But I hope it sees the light of day before the year 2026. We'll see. I'll keep you posted.
Well, shit, man, I'm looking forward to hearing that. I mean, I've been, getting a little bit of the itch lately. I know that I've also felt very opposite, where like I don't really feel like I have it in me to sing in a band anymore. So I kind of want to just be in the background and do like bass or something like that. But I don't know. I've been wanting to do something heavy, something to get it out, because that's one thing that we had back in Miami was we could play Churchill's whenever the fuck we wanted, because they were limited venues, but they were available all the time.
Yeah. It's a bummer that there's not many venues down there right now, man.
Churchill's is still gone, right? Or closed up at least.
And that place Cramps, it's really cool that they're doing shows, but that's not really the vibe for like a fucking sick grindcore show or death metal show. It's like outdoors and tropical. I mean, it's really cool that they're letting that happen there, that they're catering to a different crowd. But I really hope somebody steps up and opens up some sick establishment for Miami.
Do you remember how Cafe Cristal used to be?
Curfew, and then they'd have a dance club afterwards.
Dude, and they had to mirror walls and shit, like bad for sound.
That place sounded like shit.
Same with Drake. There was another place called Drake's in Kendall that was same idea. It was a nightclub that they just were letting us put shows in.
I never checked that place out.
Dude, we played a show at Drake's and it was the same shit. Cafe Cristal. It was all mirrored walls. It was a long hallway, so whoever's in the back is hearing just nonsense.
It'd be artistic intent to be noisy,
I mean, that was kind of what, like, when we sometimes with the other band that was in Vultures or Wolves.
I remember that band. Yeah.
Sometimes we would try and do shit just to like make noise. Like George had a fucking second cab at one point just with feedback the whole time.
Hey, fuck everyone. Why not?
Fuck it. Fuck your ears.
Whatever. Like, who cares?
Yeah, fuck man. It's Miami, dude. What are we gonna do? We're doing the best we can there. Now that you're out of there, I mean, in terms of music, like, are you working like in a studio, or how are you guys getting together?
Well, yeah, no. So the project with Mike Heller, he has a studio at his place, so that's great. And with Shock Withdrawal, the drummer's based out of Texas, so he's recording there, and then I'm going to track vocals at my friend's studio out here. My friend Travis, shout out to Travis Bacon, recorded the EP at his place. Great vibes, He's just like, I always feel like I like to be comfortable and ideally have some sort of level of friendship established with whatever engineer I work with, because I like to go in there and knock it out, but I'm always open to feedback and just like, I don't know. I'm the type of vocalist that tends to oversaturate songs too, So it's nice to have somebody to be like, "Hey, man, why don't you shut the fuck up for a second? Let that riff breathe a little bit, Like that's a cool riff. Why are you barking over it?" And I'm like, "You're absolutely right." So yeah, him and I have a good vibe going, and he gave me a few ideas for the EP, like certain patterns and stuff that we changed last minute. It was just a cool, positive time, man. I love recording. I don't find it stressful. I find it therapeutic, and I don't know. I just love doing this shit in general. So I'm just really happy to be able to get back to it, and I don't know. I feel like I sound better now, and I feel better. I kind of own it a little more, strangely. I don't know. Like there was a while that I wasn't doing anything, and I had a friend hit me up to track 2 songs for an EP. No, for a record. This is Takafumi Matsubara solo record. I don't know if you ever got around hearing that. It's like the dude from Gridlink had a solo record. My friend Takafumi from Japan, and I hadn't recorded anything in like 4 years or something. And I go and try, and it was at my friend Mike's studio, and I just fucking lost my voice brutally, dude. And I thought I was done. I thought, like, I can't do this anymore. And I spoke to a few friends, and they were like, "Nah, man, you have to continue to use your voice or it will perish. It's like exercising." So, dude, to this day, twice a week, 3 times a week, when I'm in the shower, I fucking do exercises and I scream like motherfucker, and I keep myself sounding good. My neighbors probably hate me. I don't give a shit. But to me, keeping my voice intact is way more important because that's just my favorite thing in the world. I don't want to lose that. I'm out of focus here all of a sudden.
Yeah.
What the fuck happened?
You got blurry.
My blurry, dude.
There you go.
All right.
Yeah, so I mean, so you practice in the shower. I do in the car. I don't give a fuck. People probably think I'm insane.
I used to do it in the car, but I feel like the way you're sitting down in the car doesn't represent how you're going to be, your posture when you're either recording or performing. So it's odd,
Yeah.
To me, standing up makes the most sense. And also in the bathroom, you get this nice like auto reverb from just being in the bathroom.
Yeah. When we tracked the Sever screams, that we did it in the bathroom because you pick up a little extra.
Oh yeah, man. Oh yeah.
But yeah, that's fuck it, dude. Just go on stage in a wheelchair.
True. I could do the Seth Putnam.
I'm just gonna sit this one out, boys.
Yeah.
Oh fuck. So okay, now financially, you mentioned you have a job out here. You're working, editing, and all that. Like, are you in a position to where if one of these things pop off, you can leave what you're doing to go on tour and come back and be fine, or like, are we still, Miamiing it?
Well, I am very fortunate with work out here in entertainment. Any sort of video editing world is usually freelance. I'm a contractor, and I've been working with one company for a while. I've been bouncing around, but like for the first time in my life, I do have a nest egg of just money I've stashed. And there are periods of time where sometimes, dude, I would take on 2 editing jobs at once because I'm not used to turning work down. I'm usually being, so I would just kill myself and work 70 hours, 2 projects at once, charge day rates to both clients, and they're not aware that I'm working 2 jobs. I can drive myself nuts. But yeah, no, I was able to like put some money away. Even if nothing pops off, I would still like to do a tour again at some point. There's places I haven't played. And if not that, I feel like I want to take at some point in my life a nice prolonged vacation, a nice like, you know what, I'm gonna fuck off for 6 weeks. I'm gonna go to Peru. I'm gonna go back to Colombia for a bit, or fucking I'll go overseas and go to Japan or visit a friend in Thailand I've been wanting to visit or something. I don't know. I feel turning 40 this year is kind of like, wait a minute, motherfucker, like time is of the essence, dude. What am I going to do? Travel when I'm 50 years old? Nothing against anyone listening that's 50, you know, like
50 is the new 40, bro.
Yeah, exactly. 50 is the new 40. But like, you know, I don't know. I feel like we tend to get just lost in the grind and just uh you're not going to take that money to the grave, dude. You know, the most valuable thing in the world is time. And, you know, I'd say we're definitely at the halfway point. If we live to be 80, we'd be very lucky, my friend.
That's right.
Like, time's of the fucking essence, man. Do what you want to do now while you still can.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, there is definitely a sense of urgency, but also like I was thinking about this the other day, and it was like, all right, if let's say we get to 80, right? I don't know, with my choice of living, with drinking and whatnot, who knows?
Yeah.
But my grandfather lived to like 89, and he drank a bottle of wine a day, so whatever. I don't know what his deal was.
That's healthy, right?
Yeah, it's healthy. It's good for you.
It's good for
Maybe that's what
you.
it is. I gotta drop the beer and start going to wine again. I don't know. But my point is, if we go to 80, right? We got what, another 40?
Yeah. And how quickly did that pass, dude? Fucking
Yeah, well, but wait, but not really. Because look, think about it. I feel like I've done a lot of shit, and the first, I would say 13 don't even count. Like I wasn't doing. You know, what the fuck is that? Yeah. So we did it. We, you know, maybe we had about 25 years. I've done a lot of shit in 25 years. That like I'm like, wow, you know, I've traveled. We've gone to different. You know, we've done a lot as adults. In 25, 40 more years is a long time.
This is true. You know what? Man? I appreciate the fucking hell out of your optimism, dude.
Right?
I don't think about shit that way.
40 years is a lot of time.
Well, let's fucking get it, dude.
Yeah, we got time, dude. I mean, I plan to, you know, keep like, what was it? Clint Eastwood had a baby in his 80s. I could probably have a baby in my 80s, right?
I mean, if you do it, respect.
What an awful choice. Like that's a selfish ass choice. Just, you know what? Yeah. I'm gonna die in like 2 years.
Yeah, peace. But to be fair, Clint Eastwood probably had a shitload of money. That kid's living a fucking
he's set
life, dude. He motherfucker isn't gonna have to struggle at all, you know. So,
Jesus.
Yeah.
Dude, by the way, that's why you and I made it out here like successfully, because you hear people want to come out here all the time to LA because you want to get the career. That's how you make it. Go to Hollywood, and then you get to Hollywood, and then before you know it, you're living under a bridge in a tent, and you know it happens.
No, city is harsh and unrelenting.
But you and I come from struggle.
Yeah.
We come from a different kind of struggle. That East Coast Miami struggle is different than the struggle out here.
But I will say, at least what I do is a very objective thing. Video editing is like, granted, it's creative, but it's a very like, you always need somebody to edit things. It's sort of a more like laying down the foundation of this thing. It's not like I moved here to like, I'm going to be an actor, you know, like
yeah.
Fucking like, holy shit, or something like that. I'm going to make it as a musician, and you end up being that crazy dude on the train who's just playing guitar acoustically, and everyone's like, Jesus Christ, shut up. Oh my God, dude, when I used to take the train to work, and like, there'd be that one person, hey everyone, I just want to play this song to brighten up your day. And I'm just like, why? There's so many open mic nights in this fucking city. Why are you gonna punish me with this fucking song, dude? Like, I hate it. There's a time and a place. Let me just enjoy this commute on this metal tube I am in underground as I get to my destination to serve my corporate overlords and shit. Just leave me alone.
That's because he's not in Miami, dude. I watched in Miami. We used to go to those fucking Zeta Fests, the Oktoberfests, the fucking whatever. The big.
Yeah, I remember that. No, Halloweeny roast.
Halloweeny roast. They also had one that was like, "Come on, I wanna lay a luau."
I don't remember.
That was a weird one they would do. That was like in the summer. But yeah,
I remember I would sneak into those, man. It'd be a Biscayne. Was it Biscayne Park?
Yeah, right? Biscayne Park, right? Bayfront Park.
Find a little fence and jump over that shit. That was
Bayfront Park was the one.
Bayfront Park. There you go. Yeah.
But
I
dude,
was like stoked on any of the bands playing. I'm just like, let's go.
it's fun. It's a party.
Yeah.
I watched. So what the point of bringing it up is that I watched, like in Miami, I watched what was it? Saliva, the Click Click Boom band, and I stood next to the guy who took a bottle of soda that was filled with sand from the beach, and he threw it at the drummer. Smashed him right in the face. Blah! The guy got up, stopped playing. They canceled. They walked off stage. He's like, yeah! Everybody cheering. I'm like, what the fuck?
You can't let them win, dude.
Oh my god! Come on, Saliva. You think Saliva's gonna just play with a broken nose? Nah.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
I don't know those guys. I'm just saying, I wouldn't play with a broken nose. Especially drums.
I probably would.
Lunatic. Lunatic. Yeah. So okay. So all right. So you want to go on tour though?
Well, dude, the desire to want to play music live never goes away. You know?
But can you do the thing? The fucking like 6 months on the road? Are you think you're in for that?
Be determined. I mean, technically, if I wanted to right now, I probably could. It wouldn't be the wisest choice financially, but if the opportunity arose, I could. It's just I'd have to hustle once I got back and have to figure it out. But also, do I want to live with that idea that I could have done this, but I was too scared and I just sat there and I just continued to make content for somebody else's vision, even though
Sure.
I love everyone I work with. I work on some fun stuff, but at the end of the day,
It's not yours.
what do I love more than anything in the world? This dumbest genre of music that sounds like jackhammers and barking dogs and shit is like really what makes me the happiest in the world. So I think I do owe it to myself to do it a good other round, like one more round, man. Also, like those are the memories that you will always remember and cherish, like all the weirdos you met on the road, and like even the shitty shows in retrospect, they're hilarious,
Yeah.
The time you played to 12 people in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and fucking, I've done that more times than I have played in front of big crowds. It is what it is. But, along the way, you will have some cool shows. You will meet some people that sometimes they end up being your friends for your fucking entire life because you have this common interest and y'all just vibe and shit. And it's cool. No one can ever take that away from me. That was my version of going to college. I never really went to a 4-year college or anything. I got my AA at Miami-Dade Community College, and then I
MDCC.
Yeah. Well, now it's Miami-Dade College.
Right. I like how they're trying to pull a fast one on everybody.
Yeah.
Well, I swear to God, we're not community anymore.
Yeah. But then I remember I went to some fucking bullshit ass rip-off TV production accelerated course school, which I didn't learn jack shit there. They took like 15 grand of my money, and yeah. I
had a similar issue with ITT.
Oh yeah, ITT Tech class.
I went there. I'm not gonna get into the details of the story. However, they didn't teach me. I had a class that was advanced computing. And the guy was explaining to me what the mouse is on the screen.
Yo, that's advanced as hell, dude.
And he was like, and then when you move it around your environment, it
What year was this? What year was this?
Dude, it was like 2001. We had.
Oh, right. So Windows
XP, good.
You can change the icon to be a little bloody figure.
Yeah.
Or like, remember like Windows, you could like make you could download themes and shit.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure you had that Deftones theme on your computer. Yeah, can't lie to me, Eddie.
Probably. I mean, I did a lot of nonsense, dude. I had a lot of old pictures that should not exist of me. I'll tell you that.
I think we all. Oh, some of them, yeah. Let them be. Let them exist. Cyberspace purgatory somewhere. I don't know. I am very happy that social media was not a thing when we were teenagers, man. Because there was very embarrassing shit of myself up. Like, I used to be a dumb edgelord teen that was just, well, not an edgelord. No, that's a bad way to describe myself. But I was just like, I don't know. I was that kid that would be like obsessed with like finding the most grotesque horror movies and like showing them to all my friends and
Faces of
like,
Death.
oh, dude, actually circling back to the Theo's video store story that we were talking about. So, wow, this funny. We're going back there. So I would be a teenager and I would go this place off Coral Way in 67th. And they'd had all the Faces of Death and all these fucked up movies. And I was like 14, no, younger. I was in middle school, like 13.
Was it next to a bakery?
Yes, it was.
Carlos Bakery.
Memories. It's been a while, Eddie.
It was around Carlos Bakery, probably.
Yeah. But I would go and there'd be a guy behind the counter who's like, nah, you guys need to rent these movies. And like, it was just like that. I rented that Mosquitoes film. I rented The Stuff. That movie.
The Stuff.
You remember The Stuff? About like
Stuff.
Yeah. All sorts of shit. And it was one of those stores that had the creepy closet in the back with all the porn.
Yeah, with just a curtain.
Yeah. You go to the back and all the weird shit's back there. And I remember going there later in my 20s. And dude, they had the most insane shit back there. They had a bunch of scat porn and like bestiality shit, which is like not legal, I don't think.
Nope.
And here's a funny story. I was living with my friend Lewis, and this was, what year was that UFC fight? It was like Chuck Liddell versus Rampage Jackson. That's the fight everyone was stoked on. I was like 2006 or something.
2006 sounds about right. 2005, 2006.
So I'm like, hey man, well, we're gonna order the fight at my house. We're gonna host the barbecue, whatever. And then the day before, me and my friend Lewis went to the back of this store. We're just like being idiots, just like, holy shit, look at all this. This is disgusting. And then I decided to rent one of those scat porns, like a German, like just. So the next day, we have everyone over. We're cooking a barbecue. Everyone's there eating their chicken wings. And of course, I'm always the guy that would find the weirdest, grossest movies to gross people out. Like, hey, man, I got a movie for you guys to watch. And I put it on like, oh, no, another one of Mitchell's movies. What the fuck is this motherfucker putting on? And it starts with these two German dudes at a bar. And they're talking. And it's just like shot really weird and low budget. Looks flat. Nothing's dynamic. There's no interesting lighting. And everyone's like, all right, where's this going? There's no subtitles or anything. And then all of a sudden, this lady gets on the bar and pulls her pants down and just starts shitting. And I waited until everyone was eating.
Oh, nice.
I don't know. I don't do things like that anymore, but that was my.
Did you ever stumble across Angel Eyes 2 while you were in Miami?
No, what is that?
It was a Miami kind of like underground cassette tape that was being passed around. I think Homestead people were passing it around, but it was just compilations of things, really disturbing shit like funeral footage and people crying and like just weird. Everything was just absurd, like just made you feel uncomfortable the whole. And I guess the whole point of it was, let's see how long you last. Can you make it to the end to where there's a dude fucking a girl in her armpit? Like it's just.
Well,
they would play this at like.
I feel like the mid 2000s were such a like, let's be as offensive as possible era. Even watching movies from back then in comedy, it's just like, it was just like everything was just like shock value. Like that was the thing.
We're too numb now.
Yeah. I don't know.
We have access to all of it.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I've just grown out of a lot of that shit, though, dude. I'm just like, I just don't care. It's fucking
gross.
Not an angsty 24-year-old anymore.
You don't want to send somebody a Tub Girl or Lemon Party or
yeah, all that shit. I don't know.
Goatsy. Anybody that has watching, don't Google that if you don't want to be grossed out. Sometimes I say shit on the show. I forget that there's people watching. Like, don't Google Goatsy. Just save yourself the trouble.
Do it at work while you're at the office.
Yeah, in front of your boss. Call him in. Hey, boss man, I want to show you something.
There you go.
Oh, man.
Very well.
Well, dude, we're at an hour, which is the normal cutoff. So,
really? yeah, look at that. That flew by.
We flew by. How you? So tell me again. What is my timeline for you to be able to hear your stuff, the new stuff that's coming?
Well, I mean, you can check out that Shock Withdrawal EP. It's on Spotify and everything now, but we're tracking the new record where you just start drums this month. And I feel like what we had going now is a better representation of what the sound we're trying to craft is, if that makes sense. The EP, we're just like did it on a whim, getting to know each other, but this one's a little more fine-tuned. Hopefully it'll be out by summer. I don't want to fucking jinx it and knock on wood. Well, nowadays, like vinyl manufacturing takes so fucking long and shit. Like, you never know. And always there's a chance that something will pop up. But ideally, I mean, at some point this year, once that's out, I'll have more to talk about. If anyone cares is another question, but
we'll have another one so people can hear about it.
But it was fucking great to shoot the shit with you and talk about random Miami nonsense.
Yeah, man, episode 305. I think we succeeded in doing this.
But we should definitely do it in person sometime. Grab a drink sooner or later. Trying to think of next show. Are you going to that botch show at the end of the year?
I'm going to botch next week at Seattle.
Okay, well, are you going to go again in LA?
Probably. I mean, I know they sold out of the first show, but they put another show on.
Oh, really? Okay.
But I should be at one of those.
Yeah, I'll be at that. I'm trying to think of other big stuff. I'll be at, I don't know, whatever. Hit me up.
Text me. You tell me when you're going places because I'm married and I just chill at home sometimes. So text me when you're going out.
Yeah. All right, man. Sounds good, dude.
Everybody that's watching and listening, please follow the Master of Murphy. It's at Master of Murphy on Instagram if you want to follow your adventures.
Follow Shock Withdrawal on Instagram. It's probably a better one. My personal page is. I mean, you can. It's just.
Is it private? You have it private?
Yeah. One of those.
Okay, then don't follow him. Follow.
You can. I don't care.
Brother, thank you so much, man. I'm glad we got to finally at least do one of these, even if it is Zoom. We'll do another one in person, like you said. We'll do it when the music's coming in person.
All right, man. Or we'll just hang in person. You know how it be.
That's true.
All right,
Let's hang. All right, guys. Peace.